adjusting for inflation in terms of box office. But even then, Jaws made a shit ton, didn't it? So.
Yeah, I mean, I did all the math for Jaws, and yeah, it still doesn't beat Deep Blue Sea. It wouldn't even come close, which is pretty odd. Like, but I have some like, but even if Jaws is in here, people are gonna be like, "You're stupid." You can't do it. But I don't know. Like, so what I set up was, I think my favorite of all these sharks was from The Shallows, because that's just a mean shark. No one would mistake the shark from The Shallows as like getting sharks wrong. I just like how mean it is. I don't know. What did you think about The Shallows?
I haven't seen it actually.
I got it. I just love how mean it is. I love the Jaws 2 shark who has a burn on its face the entire time. I think the best kill is obviously Deep Blue Sea. The most sharks are open water. The what are the other categories that I had? Shark screen time. It's Deep Blue Sea. There's over 10 minutes of sharks.
It's mostly. Yeah. I watched it last night, but I remember more sharks than humans.
Yeah,
that can't be the case, but
yeah, I had my phone out taping it, and then the Meg is second. There's a lot of Meg actually, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I suppose so. You've got 2 sharks in there as well, so yeah.
So I mean, through all this, it was Deep Blue Sea taking first place, and I think the top 4 is actually really good. I love The Reef and Open Water, but they're kind of based on true stories. I dig 47 Meters Down. There's 2 really good shark moments in it, but I think the top 4 of Deep Blue Sea, The Shallows, Jaws 2, and The Meg. Like, I think that works because Jaws 2 made a ton of money. It has the same tomato meter score as Deep Blue Sea, and it has like a shark chasing kids on catamarans. Like, it's a good idea. Meg is hokey and fun. Shallows, I think, is really good. So,
I wanted the Meg to be hokier and more fun. It, a little too serious. I liked it, don't get me wrong, but I wanted it to have been made with the same style as Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah,
it's the same kind of approach to the humor of it.
I felt the same way when I was walking out of it. I guess time has made me less of a dork about it. But right though, it could have been Deep Blue Sea, right? But instead it was not.
Yeah. It's just a bit too serious.
Yeah. Statham can be funny too. Remember him in Lock, Stock, like you said, in Snatch?
Yeah. I love Statham. I'll watch him in anything.
Z German.
And he's finally playing a swimmer. Like this competitive diver from his youth. Like, he's finally playing a swimmer, and he dives in water a couple of times. But just feel like there should be some reference to that. Like, he's a failed diver who became a submarine repairman or whatever it was he did.
I wonder if he's embarrassed by that, because if everyone hears that he's a diver, they're going to think he's less of a fighter.
I don't know why he shouldn't think that. Divers have to be in incredible shape.
Yeah, you could snap your neck. I mean, I don't know. I just have weird theories. And also, he's a dancer too, man.
Yeah.
His music videos.
I haven't seen those, but okay.
Oh, wait. You haven't seen him in his dancing and music videos? He's like...
No, but I will be doing that later on today.
He's like golden paint sprayed, and he's like in kind of like a diaper, not a diaper, but like a diving shorts, just dancing around the background of a very 90s music video.
Please excuse me whilst I go and YouTube some things.
Well, how about this? Let's take a break, watch that clip, and then we'll talk about more Deep Blue Sea. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flix. And what'd you think about that, Jay?
That's something I can never unsee. I will certainly try. But yeah, oh boy. Everyone's going to make money somehow, I suppose. Harrison Ford was a carpenter. Jason Statham painted himself gold and danced in leopard skin underwear. Yeah.
I mean, I think when you're watching, you went the serious face.
Yeah, just like it just. I don't know what he's thinking. If I was him, I'd be thinking, what am I doing? I hope I'm getting paid enough for this. When is the check going to clear? But he's just this like real fixed, stern expression. He's really concentrating on the kind of dad dancing that he's doing. This isn't something I thought we'd be talking about on a Deep Blue Sea podcast, but it's why I love coming on the show, Mark. You educate me with the past lives of some of my favorite actors.
I think that's really true about Statham dancing, because whenever I try to actually dance, my wife says I look very serious.
That's why I don't try and dance.
And speaking of, what did big question? Did your wife like this more than Airheads?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
When I said last night, I need to watch Deep Blue Sea. Well, I don't need to watch Deep Blue Sea. I'm going to watch Deep Blue Sea for a podcast tomorrow. I could have quite easily done this show without watching it, because this was maybe the 100th time I've seen it. She's like, "Oh, I've got some stuff to do tonight, but I want to watch Deep Blue Sea." So she's a fan. She's not a fan of Airheads. Understandable. It's not a great film. Deep Blue Sea is a great film. So yeah.
I love it. And like, I don't know. So, as this movie, like, what did you what are your favorite scenes in this movie? Like, what do you kind of find yourself going back to and loving?
There's so many.
Yeah.
Well, the famous part is obviously Sam Jackson's death or Stellan Skarsgård's death, but Preacher's legacy, kind of his monologue to camera, it's such a like LL Cool J might be like the best part of the film or one of the best characters of the film because he spends most of it on his own or with his bird. So he's kind of comedic relief. He's the mean roll back on the ranch kind of thing, cut across the Preacher. When he's just kind of working out what his legacy to the world is, and it's like, oh, an omelette recipe, of course. Why didn't I think about that? I'm a cook, for God's sake. So it's just him talking to a camera like, the perfect omelette is, it's 2 eggs, not 3. Some people have milk for density. That's a mistake. I just he's very charismatic. I've not seen him in a lot of films. It's like this and SWAT, I think, are the 2 things I've probably seen him the most in. He's
fun in Halloween H2O when he lives.
Okay, I'm surprised. Well, I'm surprised he lives here. That's, again, great thing about Deep Blue Sea. It changes up your expectations. He even says in the film he's gonna die. He's not gonna solve the situation, and he lives.
Yep.
And there's a point where he almost dies when he gets out. He almost gets eaten. But I really like him.
Just wandering around, drinking wine, looking at Playboys, fighting sharks, like that.
Continually sinning, and then being reprimanded for his sinning by God. I'm sorry. I'll stop drinking. Sorry, this is a message.
I love that. And then the kitchen fight. I mean, that's another very inventive thing. The bird gets eaten, then he gets into an oven, and it gets turned on. Like, that's...
The sharks can operate. I think that was intentional.
Yeah.
The shark turning the oven on.
Yeah, the shark could have killed him earlier, too. Like, I think it was just like, come on, man. Like, get out of here.
So, maybe that shark wasn't, like, part of the overall plan. He was just tagging along, having fun. Like, they didn't need him. The other 2 sharks didn't need him. It was like, Keith, just go over there and just go have fun, do what you want. And he's like, I'm going to dick around with the Preacher. Yeah, the Preacher's not part of the plan, right? Yeah, mine? Okay, I'm just going to go dick around with him. So he's just having fun. And, Keith died. That happens.
He's like the Bill Paxton of the group. Like the villain Bill Paxton in the 80s.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, he's Chet.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
If he was part of the plan, he'd have ruined it, he'd have screwed something up. So you just go over there and kind of have fun.
Wow. He is the Chet from Weird Science of the group. That's amazing. That is awesome. And also
Does he have the same laugh, though? That's the problem.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I wish he had a buzz cut. But that's funny, man. So he's just running amok. And you know what happened? But remember in the movie, they said that Carter Blake had given the Gen 2 shark the dose of the serum 24 hours earlier. So the Gen 2's is Bradley Cooper from Limitless, and the other 2 are smart, very, very, very smart, but they're kind of Chet, and they both fail actually. Well, one of them succeeds. So it's kind of, there's just a very clear hierarchy here, isn't there?
Yeah. The Gen 2's obviously at the top. Then it's got the one who gets electrocuted as his kind of second in command. And then there's Keith.
Who do you think, what's the second one's name?
Jorge, I think.
I like that. Yeah. Good. I mean, it gets the job done.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And Jorge can hang out with Meg. I guess I'll call it Meg, right? The main one.
Yeah,
Meg even shares Russell Franklin with him.
Yeah. Which one gets Scoggins? That's Meg.
Yeah, that's Meg.
Yeah. And that's another real gnarly death of getting bitten in half and the legs just still twitching.
Oh, I love that. I mean,
still just kicking in the water.
The CGI's bad, but it's still fun.
Yeah. It's fun. Yeah.
No, I've been reading something here. I've read a couple. There's some articles on Medium, right? And they go really deep into playing God and scientists and everything. And there's articles that say that Dr. Susan McAllister is the bad guy because
I can understand that.
So she does lie. Carter tells her, "Hey, this is a problem." She lets the shark go. I mean, she didn't the Harvard genetics pack. In Chimera policy. They're breaking Chimera policy. But she wants to cure Alzheimer's, and she does. So she does create super smart prisoner sharks, but she cures Alzheimer's.
Yeah, intention was good.
Yeah. So she...
yeah.
And she makes a speech in the beginning about her dad.
She makes a speech to Ronnie Cox.
Yep.
Who doesn't have a line. Is on screen for 15 seconds. What? In all of your research, why is it Ronnie Cox?
Maybe he owed Harlan a favor. He didn't say anything about it in the commentary.
I just find it so. Every time I watch it, it's like, oh yeah, that is Ronnie Cox. What is he doing here?
Do you think it's him before Total Recall? Wait, he's in Total Recall, right?
Yes, yeah.
Quaylen. No. Yeah, Quaylen.
Yeah. I always go RoboCop with Ronnie Cox.
Oh, yeah. Verhoeven acolyte.
Yes. And Beverly Hills Cop as well.
Ooh, he had some hits.
Deliverance.
Oh, yeah. Jeez, Ronnie Cox, man. Let's do an actor studio on him, and I'll just talk about this movie again.
He's got 145 credits to his name, apparently.
Jeez Louise.
I think we've listed the 4 that I've seen.
Do you think that she's a bad guy in this, Dr. Susan McAllister?
I think if you had to pick somebody out of the humans, then she is top of the list. But from the point of view of the people who get killed, then absolutely, 'cause she's the reason why they're kind of running, screaming from these giant, super intelligent sharks. But I think had I been in her position, I don't think I would have acted differently. I like to think I would have done the same thing. Maybe told some more people. It wasn't just her, because Jim was in on it as well. Mm-hmm. I don't like the speech that starts with Ronnie Cox where she's saying, like, every time her dad, like, forgot her mum had like, died because he had Alzheimer's, and every time she explained it to him, she'd watch his heart break again. Stop explaining it to him.
Yeah.
It's always frustrating. Like, I know you probably don't want to lie to your dad, but just say she's popped out.
Yeah.
She'll come back. Just sorry to bring a more depressing note to the podcast.
She doesn't think about other people, kind of. She kind of is very driven towards one goal, so maybe that's been it. Does that make sense? She's not very empathetic. Yeah, she's a very cold. Is she British? I think she's British. That makes sense. I can say that. She's a very kind of cold presence. So apparently she and Carter have some kind of, like, Carter wants to go on a date with her. I don't know why. Yeah.
She's the least human of the people. Maybe she's one of the few female people on the Aquatica, perhaps.
She's just using him, pretty much, right? She hires him because he's a criminal who won't ask questions.
That bonding scene between Carter and Russell and Sam Jackson is like, you're the man, right? Man's got a file. He's just assuming that he's got a criminal record.
Yeah.
And they bond over their shared prison experiences. Like, this is a very weird scene.
Yeah, he was fishing, right? Wasn't he saying, yeah, I went cave diving, touristy thing? Isn't that what he got in trouble for, Carter Blake? Stealing?
Smuggling.
Smuggling.
Yeah, he did 2 years for smuggling. Oh no, sorry, that's what Franklin did, 2 years of smuggling. I can't remember what Carter was in for. But I just find that a very odd scene, just like, you must have been to prison, right?
Yep. Best friends then?
Why do you say that, racist?
Oh, man. What does Carter Blake say about it? It's simple. I just keep my head, or like, it's easy. I'm like, how is the job easy? He has to mount sharks and ride them.
Yeah, it's very difficult. Look at it. It's very impressive what he does. I certainly couldn't do it. I'm not a great swimmer. Even if I was, no thank you.
The original
He acts as bait for himself to turn around and then take on the shark. It's not he's bait for somebody else to do it. He is the bait, and also he is the person who's going to catch the shark in one go. That's insane.
Couldn't he just wait for the shark as opposed to playing bait?
Yeah, probably. He could just go over there, cut his hand a little bit, shark come over, done.
Carter Blake. It's Carter Blake, man. That's how he rolls.
That's how he rolls, yeah.
I like saying everyone's name in this movie, just full name. Carter Blake. Sherman Dudley, Jim Whitlock, Susan McAllister. Yeah.
Janice Higgins.
Dude, she gets a gnarly death, dude.
I really like her death. Her death is kind of underrated. It's really well shot. Mm-hmm. The way that where she's like reaching out of the water and then goes back and then comes back up in the exact same pose, but now in a shark. It's very well done.
So Rennie Harlan wanted to go back to the cliffhanger kind of vibe. He was like a homage to Cliffhanger when he was hanging like that. And he dropped the lady. But then Cracked read an article, and they're like, why didn't she just climb up the ladder? So the whole time she's waiting for him to go into the middle when there's a ladder right next to her. So that kind of killed me. I was like, oh, man.
She's panicking.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, just the giant shark right below her. I mean, the shark was doing laps in that little tiny elevator shaft thing. Yeah. So if she were to swim to the side, she'd swim into the shark, probably.
I mean, hindsight, right?
Yeah.
And it's a fun cliffhanger. And in the shot, dude, they weren't thinking about ladders. I love this. The shark is like between her legs, pushing her up in the air. It's crazy. Like that's a gnarly death right there, man.
Yeah. And then like after that, Carter Blake asks Tom Scoggins, "Can you reach that door?" And Michael Rappaport makes a valiant attempt to reach this thing that is easily 5 feet above what he can reach, but he's still like stretches. He tries, but he's a good 4 or 5 feet away from reaching that. I just like that he tries.
Yep.